Hello UFC fans, this is Grandmaster Ted Gambadella here with your predictions for the UFC 146. The big heavyweight card is coming May 26th, and we wanted you to be the first to know who the lock, solid, tight winners and losers are going to be in 3 big fights. And by big, we mean the guys fighting are big. In fact, some of them are as big as whales. And that brings us to our first analysis with Whaley Nelson versus Dave Pee Wee Herman. Let's start. It's Whaley Roy Nelson versus Dave Pee Wee Herman. Yes, that's his real nickname. No idea why he would pick that one unless he used to be a bouncer in a porno theater where he saw the real Pee Wee playing with his wee-wee. And while we don't know a lot about Pee Wee Herman the boxer, other than his record of 21-3, we do know that somehow he manages to actually stay in shape and not look like he just fell off a McDonald's truck, like Whaley Nelson. And this is after Nelson got into better shape since Dana White told him that the fat act was wearing thin. And oh yes, he better actually win a fight and start getting back in shape. Well, we hate to be the one to tell Whaley Nelson that he didn't listen or train hard enough, and now he's going to lose another UFC fight, making him lose 4 out of his last 5 UFC fights. Whaley Nelson simply can't go 3 rounds, and unless he knocks out Pee Wee out, very doubtful, his only real chance is to submit him, which he is capable of doing if Pee Wee lets him, and we don't think Pee Wee will let the whale get on top of him and submit him. The real Pee Wee might, but not the fighting Pee Wee. Nelson will go down hard and might even break the ring in doing so. We're picking Herman to win by KO in the 3rd. Now to Antonio Bigfoot Silva, who really should be called Big Head Silva. He looks like a Neanderthal man, thus Big Head Silva, versus Cain, the Great Brown Hope Velasquez. We think that the big head is going to go smash the little Cainer and give Velasquez his 2nd loss in as many fights. We just don't see how someone with a big foot can't beat someone with a big mouth. Cain's only chance is to keep the fight standing, and that won't be easy. But who said fighting in the UFC was easy? If it was easy, girls would be fighting. Wait! Girls are fighting in Strikeforce, and the UFC owns Strikeforce, so I take it back. It is easy to fight in the UFC. It's not easy to win. Now back to the point. And the point of this discussion is to tell you that the big head will put one of those big feet up Cain's butt, knock him around in a circle, and then pound him into submission. Just like Dos Santos did to Velasquez to win the title. The once great hype Cain Velasquez will get more pain, and people will begin to realize he is really not good enough in every aspect to be the U.S. heavyweight champion, UFC heavyweight champion again. Finally, the big fight of the night. Junior Dos Santos Clause versus Frank the Tank Mir. Mir is going to win his 3rd UFC heavyweight championship because he can hit like a Mack truck and ground fight better than any heavyweight alive on the planet. He's the only person to knock out Minotauruses, Nogarosauruses, the 2nd ugliest fighter in the world after Big Head Antonio Silva, and submit him. If you call snapping his arm completely in half a submission, we call it attempted murder. Anyway, Mir will make Dos Santos Clause wish he was back in Brazil, fighting in that room with no air conditioning, no showers, no windows, no lights, and no mats, and calling it heaven. When Dos Santos Clause does wake up, it will be with a broken arm or a broken nose. There is no way he will beat Mir. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold Ted, who's been to Austin many times, said so. Well, those are my picks, and you can take that to the bank in your mom's car, cash your food stamps, and put it all on Mir to win. And you'll make enough money to watch the next UFC on pay-per-view and think that you too know how to fight because you watch it on TV. Well, I hate to be the one to tell you, You can't learn to fight by watching it on TV. I suggest you actually go to an MMA school for 47 years and get hit before you tell me how clever you are with your comments and how I don't know crap about fighting. And you are the real Grandmaster, even though you're only 15 years old. This is Grandmaster Ted Gambardella. I'll see you next time.